My name Tako Roofling, you know what I'm saying? Street name Tako. We're at Slauson Recreation Center on the east side in the low bottoms, located inside the Pueblo Del Rio housing projects. I grew up in foster system, man. I'm saying I was a product of the crack era, so you know what I'm saying, I was born with drugs in my system. I got adopted out by my auntie, Betty Jean Mitchell. So I actually left the hospital and went to 52nd and Long Beach. From 52nd and Long Beach, we moved to 57 in between Compton Avenue and Fortuna. I went to Holmes Avenue, I went to Hooper Elementary, Edison Junior High. Well, I went to a few junior highs, you know what I'm saying, because I was at that time in my life, you know, I was a troubled youth, gang banging, representing, you know what I'm saying, Pueblos, so wasn't too many blood schools back then, so I was getting transferred out to every other junior high school. Pueblos, when I was growing up, man, that was like best place in the world to me, you know what I'm saying? It was money, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of shit that we weren't supposed to glorify, but we did, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know no better, but I spent all my youth right there, man, inside them project walls.
How old were you when your aunt finally adopted you? Can you tell us why your mom was considered not fit to raise you?
She was on the streets, man. She was on drugs, you know what I'm saying? Gotta think, this is the early 80s we talking about when crack had just hit, so she was a product of that, you know what I'm saying? So she was into drugs real heavy. So, you know, at the time, she thought it was best to give me to my auntie and let her do the best job she could do.
And where was your father at this time?
Man, to be honest, man, I don't even know that dude. If he came and sat right next to me on this bench, I wouldn't even know him, never met him. Me being a young teen in the inner city, you know what I'm saying, it was something that I was yearning for, man. I was yearning for the streets, man, and see what the streets is about, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, it was money over here, you know what I'm saying? The heroin trade, the cocaine trade, the bank robbery trade, so I had that to glorify, man. So who would want to go to school, man, and you see dudes riding around here in limousines, riding around in fur coats and shit, man, but we living in the projects. When I left Holmes Avenue, you know, we had gangbangers waiting on us when we got out of school recruiting, but I'll say like around the time I was 13, man, you know, junior high school, I jumped off the porch and this is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Got tattooed, hit it for the longest, you know what I'm saying? But finally, you know what I'm saying, I just, you know, didn't want to bring no problems or strife to her home, so I just left, you know what I'm saying? And the streets it was, you know what I'm saying? My family and uncles is, you know what I'm saying, some of the first generation Pueblo bishops, man, the Mitchells. Then with my godmom family, the Whites, that's the second biggest family over here. So it wasn't no, oh, you got to get put on nothing. It was more so, this what I chose, you know what I'm saying? I'm tatted up, I'm pushing this shit, and the homies accepted it, you know what I'm saying? You one of us now. Start getting tattooed, man, fighting every day, man. I mean, you ask any of the old heads around here, dudes my age and under, they'll tell you I was known for fighting, man. Man, we have one fight, and that one fight turned to 4 or 5, because the person that broke it up, I got to fight you. The person that said he won, I got to fight you. The person that was laughing, so, you know what I'm saying, it got real hectic.
How did you get a name like Tako, a Spanish name that mostly Mexicans use?
I mean, when I was into that, when I was into the streets, gangbanging, it used to mean taking all Crips out, you know what I'm saying, before I changed my life around. But my big homie Beauvais, rest in peace, and Dirty Bird, man, they kind of like gave me the name. I was a young dude out here fighting and shit all the time, man. And, you know, one day, right here at this park, man, they like, dang, man, you act like you just want to take every Crip in the world out. I'm like, I do. And, you know what I'm saying, we shortened it up with the initials, because that was just too long of a name to have, and it turned into Tako. Back then, wasn't no Crips allowed over here or coming. It was strictly owned and controlled by the Pueblos. But back then, you know, we had an alliance with the villains. So you would see the villains here. I mean, the whole low bottom blood corps would come and congregate here, the 20s, 30 and 40 power rules, you know what I'm saying? It was more of a unity thing back then, you know what I'm saying?
You got involved in some serious hustling.
Yeah.
But not the typical hustling that most brothers get involved in.
Yeah,
you was on some other level hustling.
Yeah, I was robbing banks, man. Actually, it was a rush. You know what I'm saying? More than anything, it was a rush. You know what I'm saying? So it was just the drilling rush, and then we actually could get away with this, man, and it's this easy. So that was more than anything what it was with me back then. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up getting caught up. You know what I'm saying? Caught a case. You know what I'm saying? They offered me everything in the world but to come home to snitch on my co-defendants, but I didn't do it. And being that I was the youngest, you know what I'm saying, they thought that they could try that with me. Man, well, if you give us the conviction of these 3 dudes, we'll let you go. Yeah, y'all not finna let me go, so I ended up getting sentenced to, in federal term, 188 months, which is 15 years. And I did 11 years out of that.
And was that on your first attempt?
Man, that was my first time ever being put in handcuffs. Through that 11 years, I realized that people of my color is not my enemy. And I say that to say, I hit a yard, and every crip on the yard wanted me dead. I mean, these dudes lined up outside of my unit waiting for me, man. You know what I'm saying? They wanted me dead, man. But it was actually a crip that stepped up to the plate and made sure I got a fair fight. And look, man, he not no snitch. His paperwork cool. He gonna fight 2 dudes, and after that, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? And it opened my eyes to see that I was born and raised and taught that certain people are my enemies, and actually, in all reality, they're not my enemies.
Now talk about the checking of the paperwork once you arrive to a prison yard.
That's mandatory, you know what I'm saying? As soon as you get there, like I said, so as far as me, I was a part of the blood, so the homies was giving you 2 weeks. As soon as you hit the yard, man, you got 2 weeks to have your paperwork, man. It's either gonna go 1 or 2 ways. If you have your paperwork and everything good, they're gonna give you a care package and you cool. If you don't have your paperwork, you get sent up top, which is going to the shoe until we get your paperwork and verify that you're not a snitch. But if your paperwork come back and you told, yeah, man, you getting off the yard with some holes up in you, man. They gonna stab you up, man, hit you in your head with locks or do the worst imaginable thing to you, man. I started off at the lowest security you could go at Taft, which is in Bakersfield, California, man. And from there, man, I went all the way to a USP, which is the highest you could go in the federal custody, man. Like I said, I was young, so I was still wilding, man, and couldn't nobody really tell me nothing. Plus, I was mad. My co-defendants went home. I was stuck with all this time, so I was mad at the world. I had a chip on my shoulder. Out of that 11 years, shit, I did 7 years without visits because I was in other states, you know what I'm saying? And people don't have the means to travel like that or get to these other places, man. I was all the way in Schuylkill, Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? My people from Los Angeles, who finna travel way out there to come visit for an hour? Shit, I don't think anybody that's human, it wouldn't affect them, man. You just stuck dealing with the people in your environment, no outside connection to the outside world. Yeah, it affected me. My first visit was actually from my godmom. She came and visited me. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy because it was like, you good on a high, like, oh man, I finally get to see my family, I can't wait. And then you out there, you eating, you chilling, you taking pictures, you happy until, you know what I'm saying, they say visitors up and they on one side of the room and you on the other side of the room and it's back to your reality, back to their cell, you know what I'm saying?
Do you get to like touch, hug, and all that stuff?
I mean, you get the hug at the beginning of the visit and at the end of the visit, that's it.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Like and comment below to give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related videos to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description and listen to our weekly podcast, The Gangster Chronicles, every Thursday. And thanks for watching StreetTV.net.